Well, everybody's heard about the bird. Bird's a winner, well, a bird.
Grown men watch this shit?
A podcast about indie wrestling.
Bird is a winner, well, a bird. Well, a bird is a winner, well, a bird. The bird's a winner, well, a bird. Well, a bird is a winner, well, a bird.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to...
Grown men record this shit?
Apparently, we've just gone through a ridiculous amount of difficulty trying to get the fucking thing to work. But, I mean, this show is known for its professionalism, so nothing changes there, right?
Ben is shoveling coal into the recording device to keep it running, so if you hear some heavy breathing, it's just Ben keeping us alive.
I mean, on that note, welcome to the show, both listeners as well as Jeremy and cousin Ben. How's it going, guys?
Not too bad.
Me and Ben were catching up as you were troubleshooting things, so all that familiarity and catching up and, you know, all that is gone. We're done with that, so what's going on with you, Chris?
So all the preamble's done with from you guys' perspective.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I learned about his work day, his boss. He was trying to get off earlier yesterday so we could record the show, but his boss wanted to stick around to do some shit, hoping to say no, but they said yes. Shame.
Yep.
Shame.
So true. So true.
How's your day been going, Chris? I appreciate you managing through the technical difficulties, because I know I am a no help, and Ben said he would have been no help to you as well.
Well, I'm probably like the worst person to do it as well. I'm very much not technically minded, so it's just a bad set of circumstance that we have put me in charge of this. It'd probably be better off if like my dog was in charge of this, but you know, it is what it is.
We're making do.
I mean, on that note, I feel like I'm hearing a lot more like reverb from my own voice right now than normal. Am I sounding different to you guys?
You sound great. You sound clear and crisp. So maybe try just unplugging your headphones and plugging them back in, or is that going to cause a bunch of difficulty?
I feel like that'll fuck everything up. Hang on. I'm just going to stop recording for a second, listen back over it, because I'll be real pissed off if we record like an hour and a half show and the audio is all fucked up. So give us a moment. We're doing this live to tape, so just a sec. All right, yeah, it's actually sounding fine. So let's
right,
do this thing.
I gotta go back to podcasting. No more E. coli talk.
You guys are talking about E. coli?
Well, yeah. I was waiting for you to come back. I was just perusing Facebook, and there was 7 cases of E. coli that popped up locally.
Oh. It really feels like E. coli's taken a backseat to COVID of late. It's been quite a while since I've heard anything about E. coli poisoning.
Yeah, it's almost like you're rooting for E. coli to get back in the headlines. Come on, E. coli. Fucking COVID's getting all the credit around here now.
Just kind of refreshing to hear about E. coli from time to time, you know?
Yeah. It almost makes me whimsical of the days of AIDS, you know? AIDS,
oh, shit. Oh, I've been watching, getting near the end of, you ever watched The Juice?
Yes, I love it.
Fucking great show. Highly recommend everyone out there. Finally getting towards the end of it, and then the last season, AIDS is like a big part of it. So it's very front of mind for me at the moment.
It reminds me of Team America, where they have the song "Everybody Has AIDS," because literally everybody in that show gets it. It's really a spoiler alert. If Chris didn't indicate it, I just made it totally apparent. A lot of AIDS.
You've been getting all the spoilers lately. I saw your thing about finally getting around to watching either Godfather or Taxi Driver. And some motherfucker out here, I actually knew this would happen as soon as you like put this out into the Twitterverse. Some motherfucker spoiled the ending of Godfather for you.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to get into it any further, just in case more information comes from either two. But yeah, he's like, oh, one of the greatest heel turns and the greatest in cinema. I'm like, oh, awesome. Like this is a pretty sounds like pretty important storyline progression that I don't need to know before seeing it. But
I don't
here
think it
we
would
are.
ruin the movie, though, to be frank.
Yeah, I mean, I hear it's still such a great film. The journey will be fun, but yeah, it's unfortunate that I already am. I'm going in it waiting for all right, and I'm gonna probably figure out who the fucking the turncoat is way ahead of time. I'm like, all right, when the shoe gonna drop?
I mean, I originally watched the movie after reading the book, so like having read the book, I knew all of the things, and it was still a fucking enjoyable as shit movie.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna enjoy it. I think I'm gonna go with Taxi Driver first because I have no insight on that whatsoever, and maybe I'll forget about the Godfather thing.
Yeah,
Who knows?
that's what I try to do. I mean, the other thing with Godfather is obviously you've got Godfather 2 and 3 to look forward to as well. First, they're all pretty hefty films, so it's a bit of a commitment.
People say to avoid the third film altogether, but I feel
I would have said the same thing, the original cut of the third one, but there was a recent update to the third one, like a director's actual vision re-release, similar to the Zack Snyder things, and it's like a Godfather 3 coda, something like this, but it's fucking awesome. So you can watch 3.
I feel like I'd be doing myself a disservice if I didn't finish the story. Like, I'm kind of in that position right now. I have to watch Return of the King, the third Lord of the Rings movie, but it's like 3 hours, so it's just so daunting to even consider. But I just finished Scarface, which is 3 hours, so I guess if it's entertaining enough, it'll fly by.
I guess that's the idea. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Like I'm the same way with a lot of TV series. You get through it, and it's like clearly going downhill in the last couple seasons. But just to be a completionist, you're like, I'm gonna finish this motherfucker, regardless of how many people say bad things. I'm gonna finish it just for the sake of finishing it.
I truly agree with you there. No matter how bad it gets in the end, I need to know how they finish the storyline, even if I hate it, and I'm gonna hate it even more.
I think we're the same way as wrestling fans too. We'll go through a lot of fucking shit just to be completionists.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of like, just before you popped on, I was gonna put over Mr. In Between again because the third season of Mr. In Between is coming back this month, baby. So you guys should both watch that, and maybe we can talk about it. But you have to watch the first 2 seasons first, I guess.
The difficult thing here is, but it's like so fucking tricky. The Australian release and streaming service compared to the American one. Even if it is an Australian show, sometimes it can actually be quite difficult for us to watch with the weird world of like pay TV and the split up that we got over here.
If you miss it when it's that first season, it's hard. It's normally not on a streaming service, and you actually have to buy it.
Do they offer the Hulu in your neck of the woods?
Nope.
Not that I know of.
Oh, that's a shame. It's on the Hulu.
I recently got one over here called Binge, which gives a lot of the stuff that you would normally have to pay Foxtel for. Binge is good.
Oh, that's a shame. That's a real shame. You know what? I'm actually really bummed out for the rest of the podcast now.
This is such an empath, Jeremy. I respect it. Oh yeah, no. In general, to answer your question of how I've been from several minutes earlier, I've actually been like really shit lately, to be honest.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. I've basically getting to what I believe to be the end stages of my current relationship, so it's kind of really been bumming me out. You try to remain hopeful and stuff, but in general, it's just like a black abyss of disappointment and sadness.
Sure. I know how that goes.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, it sucks. I don't know. I don't officially know that it's over yet, but it feels like it's over. So it's that weird sort of fun time to where you just like don't.
Oh, like in between, you don't know what the fuck's happening either way.
Yeah. So that's what I've been dealing with the last month or so. So yeah, I'm trying to be patient and all that good stuff, but I think the being patient is just like torture for me in a lot of ways. So
Like, do you make a dramatic move either way? Do I say, here's my dramatic moment, show of affection and love, or here's my dramatic show, and you know what? Fuck this noise. I'm out of here. So yeah, you're like, it's hard to what. Otherwise, you're just treading water. Like, all right, I guess I'll see what happens.
yeah, exactly. And it's like one of those things where she's just like gone through a real like dark time, like for her personally. So the idea that, you know, any sort of big show of affection or you know the other way of me just throwing my hands up and being like fuck this, neither of those things are really going to be ideal. So it's just kind of this waiting game of wanting to be a good person, but also like it's just like fucking tearing me up. So what do you do?
Tearing up my heart when I'm with you.
But I have no problems sharing all of this this awful, depressing bullshit with all of our listeners. Hopefully, you guys are doing better.
You're just keeping it real, Christopher. Keeping it real.
Keeping it real. Keeping it 100, as Conan would say.
Jeez, on that note, I need a bit more Iranian tobacco right about now. Oh man, but it's funny.
Speaking of Conan and MLW and Iranian tobacco, did you guys hear that MLW is essentially bringing back Lucha Underground? Dario Cueto appeared on their show.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, right? It's like not really Lucha Underground. It's like a bastardized kind of version of it called like Azteca Underground. And I don't think it's like involving any of the real creators or like writers of the original show. Like I'd be very interested to see if like Christopher DeJoseph is involved in this at all, because I'm pretty sure he won't be. Obviously, you know, I'm big fan of Dario Cueto and like that whole thing, and Lucha Underground is like very close to my heart. So it's almost like I'm a bit fearful that it's just going to be this, you know, trying to, you know, bring the corpse of Lucha Underground or a semblance of the corpse back to life, but not really, but they're just trying to exploit it or something. I'm not sure. What's your vibe on it?
Zombie. So I first heard about there was inkling of it, and I just assumed it was one of those role-playing Twitter accounts that showed up again claiming they were restarting WCW or ECW, because there's been a rash of that happening recently, and it's been ridiculous.
Yeah, I couldn't believe people would take those seriously.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, people are not only just taking it seriously, like other people don't appreciate even the joke. They assume it's fake right away, and they get pissed off about it to even imply that bringing back these things. But anyway, I assumed it was a joke at first, and then I saw the things tonight and gave it some credence. So I'm kind of excited. I think Court Bauer, if anybody is gonna like do a cool, unique presentation of that concept, he's a smart enough guy to pull it off.
But like, he had nothing to do with it, though.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, at the same time, if anybody's gonna pull it off, I think Court could. If someone who's not really, but I think him and Joseph are friends. Yeah,
because I remember like back in the day, DJ was on the MLW podcast like a fair bit.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. That was my favorite era of like MLW radio, when you get like DeJoseph and who was that other awesome WWE former writer, John Carl
Greenfield.
Alex Greenfield was great as well. Yeah, John Carl was like always great. He was the one that got like, was he the one that got dragged through the mud with that whole scandal with the cereal and the prawn tail and shit?
Oh,
what?
that That's Jensen. That's Jensen Karp.
Yeah, Jensen Karp. He runs a incredible art gallery as well, like great pop culture kind of stuff.
I didn't know he was on MLW back then.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he talked a lot of like his sort of heyday in like the rap world, and it was like quite interesting. Yeah, really cool sounding guy. So I was like quite sad for him with the way things shook out with that fucking scandal.
Oh yeah, that whole thing was hilarious because people were like, "Hey, is this guy bullshitting?" And his girlfriend's come out and goes, "Yeah, he was known to be a gaslighting dickhead, so he's probably a liar." And then I was like, "Oh shit!" And then other people are like, "Hey, by the way, did you know this is Topanga's husband?" Like the internet was all over the place with that one.
Were you across any of this, Ben?
Not in the slightest.
So I mean,
sorry.
I think we need to go back to the start here because maybe there's
Yeah,
some
so
other people that
Jensen
weren't
Karp.
across it. This was a saga. So it
Brought out
started
some cereal.
with
And it
this
had-
dude. What was the cereal, Jeremy?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which, by the way, fucking awesome. I got it from like an American candy store over here in Australia, and we had like a.
It's the best cereal.
It's
Outside
so
of Fruity
good.
Pebbles, it's top shelf.
I mean, it is when it doesn't have dried out prawn tails in it.
But here's the thing, man. When he found these shrimp or prawn tails in the cereal, he's like, "Hey, General Mills, maker of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, what the fuck are these shrimp tails doing in my cereal?"
Yeah.
And General Mills comes back and goes, "Hey, bro, those are not shrimp tails. Those are clusters of cinnamon."
Yeah, right. And it was just
our
from them
cinnamon
like
process.
looking at the photos and being like, sometimes the cinnamon can just look like that. I'm pretty sure if you look at it closely, it'll be cinnamon. And then his response
they're
was
like,
like he just closed
"No."
up on it and was like, seriously, this is cinnamon? And it's like so definitely looking
Clearly.
like shrimp tails.
And then they go back and go, not only that, when we're looking at the cereal here, it looks like there's little black specks cooked in it, which, under close examination, it appeared to be rat shit or mouse shit baked into the fucking cereal. And the worst thing about it, he had enjoyed a couple of bowls already.
Oh,
Yeah, and also
But
like
they're
add
claiming that
on to
bullshit.
that like the fact that you know they're basically telling him he's a liar at that point during a certain point of the back and forth, and then they're like, well, send the box to this address and we'll inspect it. And he's like, no, motherfucker, I'm not getting rid of my evidence. I'm not sending all my evidence off to you. And then they had this like back and forth that kept going, and like the idea we'll send half of it to you or something, and it just went back and
Then
forth.
he said he was going to go to an independent lab.
Yeah.
But before any results of the independent lab could happen, everyone on the internet, well, all his ex-girlfriends came out and started saying what a piece of shit boyfriend he was. And
Yeah,
that
because
he's
like one girl out of
gaslighting
nowhere
the
is just
dickhead.
like, well, I know that he lied to me all the time, so he's probably lying about this. And then she said something about him like gaslighting her. And then it just started with all of his ex-girlfriends just saying the like worst mind-fucking stuff that he ever did to them, which I'm pretty
fuck.
sure anyone who has like just the collection of all of your former partners and they just in succession say the worst things you ever did to them, like no one is going to come out looking good in that. Like the Twitter world is fucked when it comes to this and celebrities, you know. I felt for the guy. I don't know if that was the correct response here. Were you kind of like feeling for him, Jeremy, or were you like, oh, this guy's a piece of shit?
I always liked Jensen Karp and the fact that he was married to Topanga. I wanted to root for the guy. He's married to Topanga, a crush I had when I was a kid. Come on.
PWG
You're
celebrity
living my
Topanga, by the
dream,
way.
buddy. Huh?
PWG celebrity Topanga.
Indeed. But yeah, they've made this happens every time. It's a concept you guys have probably heard about it called milkshake duck, where there's a character named Milkshake Duck, or somebody does something interesting like this duck drank a milkshake. Isn't that rad? And then later says, "Oh, holy shit! We found out the milkshake duck is racist." So instantly, something that everybody was enjoying, now they have to turn on. And like, you guys remember Ken Bone? It was American.
Ken Doan?
It was a guy who Ken Bone. It was a guy, not the wrestler Ken Doan. No, Ken Bone. He was this guy who was in one of the presidential elections or one of the debates. He got asked a question, and he was wearing this goofy red sweater, and he had this mustache that made him really noticeable. If you guys Googled Ken Bone, you might recognize his face. But anyway, everyone loved this lovable Ken Bone who asked this question. He looked silly and goofy. He had this little goofy mustache. Well, then the internet did a deep dive on Ken Bone and found out that he was like really filthy and fucking dirty on the internet and all these chat rooms and was really into pregnant lady porn and called
Is
him,
the American basketball coach?
No. Look Ken Bone debate or something. You'll see it. But anyway,
This is a guy who has a mustache.
Yes, indeed.
Apparently, he's a basketball coach
really
as well.
Popular for a minute, and the internet just turned on him. So it's just one of those things where you enjoy your celebrity for a moment, because as much as people like you for a minute for looking adorable with your little mustache, when they find out you're into pregnant porn and you're a weirdo, they're gonna
So wait, they kink shamed him? Was that what happened?
They kink shamed the shit out of this guy, but he's also
Poor
kind of a
dude.
dickhead apparently. Outside of that, yeah, he called women beautiful submarines, like pregnant ladies, like something like that. I forget the wording. It was ridiculous.
Wild. Well,
I know
guys,
it's
I'm
just taking
very
it
proud of
crazy.
this little sidebar.
Of course, yes.
It's
Hey,
been a good
while
one.
since you did the show, guys. So things are gonna get nutty. Ken Bone.
So we were also perhaps planning on talking about some wrestling, disappointingly. I mean, I've long wanted to do an episode where we just do this preamble for the whole thing, and then we just say bye.
Oh, or we totally watched some wrestling too, and it was good. Goodbye.
One day we're gonna do that. Like I'm just wetting you listeners' whistle here that we may do that at any moment. You're not gonna know. And just because you look
But
at the
not this one.
timeline of the episode of like the runtime, I may just put in like an hour and a half of silent time in there, just to fuck with you.
They're scrolling ahead.
Yeah.
Forever.
There
in
may
the
be an
middle of
Easter egg
silence,
of
you
some
have to
dog
add a
barking
little-
at the end. I don't know.
In the middle of silence, you have to add a little bit of audio so they think the show came back on, and then they realize it didn't, so they have to go fast forward again.
That's
Troll
not gonna
troll the hell out of our listeners for no good reason whatsoever.
Oh, good.
yeah, that's not gonna while away our like 2 remaining listeners at this point at all, is it?
Yeah, I think this shows the resurgence. People are going to really come back after this one. They'll be
Fuck
like,
yeah.
"Whoa, do you guys hear that talk about Ken Bone? Shit, what's ill?"
Yeah. Yeah, that preamble was like maybe their best one in 49 episodes.
And get all the people back.
What?
I think we should call this episode "Milkshake Duck."
I'm going to have to get you guys to talk up a little bit because of my aforementioned hearing you very
Dude, I'm-
softly in my headphones, regardless of it coming through fine on the recording.
Then you're gonna have to turn us down, dude.
Turning you down would not help. That would be the opposite.
No, I mean when you go to record later, because otherwise it's gonna be you talking in a normal volume and me and Ben yelling at
Yelling at you.
I think that'll be fine.
I think you just need to listen up. Crank your volume up as loud as possible, friend. Just
I
crank it,
have.
boy. Oh, damn. That's unfortunate.
I'm
Yeah,
still
I've had
hearing you
someone
very
yell, "It's
faintly.
not loud, Chris."
So just start yelling, please.
And now you're too. How am I doing? Am I okay, guys? How's my levels?
You're pretty good, Jeremy.
Good.
Okay, well, I'll just start whispering.
You still there, Chris?
Yes.
All right. No. Hey, what about that Noah show?
Yeah, right. So
We watched the
we
Noah show?
actually watched a bit of Noah, shockingly. Got a message from Josh of the Keeping It Strong Style podcast the other day. Where it's just like, so are you guys still doing a podcast? And I was like, dude, it's a special sometimes food at this point, you know? And I said how we like watch some Noah and we're planning on doing a show in the near future. And he's like, "Are you guys just the Noah podcast now?" And again, I'm like, "Fuck, I guess so."
Well, I'm down to watch some independent wrestling, but we just need to pick. I'm down to watch Noah and just pick one show, maybe a couple weeks, or I'm down to be more regular on the show. Like I record with Derek and everybody bi-weekly on Wednesday. So if you guys ever want to just do shows Wednesday after I'm done recording them and pick something to watch serialistically, we could really do a podcast here.
Yeah, man, I'd be down with that. I mean, on the independent wrestling front, this was something I was talking to Josh about, to where I was like, I'd love to like regularly watch more independent wrestling, but like honestly speaking, it's just been fucking dog shit lately. Like I can't think of any time in the history of independent wrestling, like since I really like started watching it in like 2002 with like the birth of ROH. Like I can't think of any time since then to where like the independent wrestling world is as dog shit as it is right now. Like honestly. And I feel a bit like of a negative Nancy saying that, but like I don't think I'm wrong. Like what do you guys think?
I personally think there's good shit out there, and of course, there's plenty of bullshit too. But I've fucking watched WWE every week, where there's literally almost nothing good, and I'm punching myself in the.
That's just masochistic.
And I'm not even doing it like it's just at this point, it's the thing I do on Mondays, and I even gave up SmackDown for the most part. But
I heard SmackDown's the only good one that they do.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
That's the unfortunate thing. Like I watch Raw every Monday just to meme out and live tweet this shit, and I beat myself up, and I can't bring myself to actually watch the good show. But no, dude, we can watch some independent wrestling. There'll be a couple good matches on the card and some other crap, and we'll have fun making fun of the crap and pointing out like, okay, that was pretty exceptional right there. Because there's some great guys out there like Lee Moriarty, and like he's the only one that sticks out right now.
I'm yet to be convinced on Lee Moriarty because I heard all this hype, and then I watched him in like one of the GCW Mania weekend shows, and he was like just, I don't know what the appeal was, just like generic indie guy, number 28, who does some sloppy high spots, and that's about it. Like, what's the appeal?
No, Lee Moriarty doesn't do much of high spots. He's a mat-based grappler. I think you're confusing him with someone else.
Really?
Yeah. It's probably one of the other black guys, and I don't want to say maybe this is a racist thing, but it could be a racist thing.
Rude.
Just ball bust in there, brother. No, Lee's like a mat-based. He like big fan of like fucking. I don't know. He's definitely not a high spot guy.
Well, maybe it was the match that I watched him in because it wasn't very mat-based.
The Treehouse Lee guy that you were talking about?
Oh, he fucking sucks. This is just mention all of the current indie wrestlers, and Chris says how much he hates them.
You need to watch more of them, and then maybe you can be able to see what other people appreciate it. If you're only watching one fucking match, then that's coloring your entire opinion of a guy's career. You'll never enjoy a lot of wrestlers, buddy. You gotta give them some time.
Ooh.
I think I've gotten very specific on what I'm watching at the moment, and so it's like when that stuff doesn't match up to that, I just think it's shit. So my main stuff I'm watching, actually the only real independent American wrestling product that I actually dig is Bloodsport. Like I fucking love Bloodsport. So I really rate that highly.
We can't do a Bloodsport podcast because that hardly happens ever.
Yeah.
That'd be up to our speed, honestly.
It would totally fit our podcast.
Yeah.
It makes sense. We only record as often as Bloodsport actually happens.
All right.
Every 6 months.
There's an idea. Other than that, I obviously watch a lot of Noah, and I normally catch up with the guys every week, and we just watch like random All Japan. Most of the time, like classic kind of like 90s All Japan.
Oh, nice.
So I feel like anything that I'm watching that's not that is not going to look anywhere near as good just by comparison. Which is probably an unrealistic
That explains
comparison
a lot.
point.
Yeah, like on JCW's most recent show, there, I think it was opening day when they came back. They had the main event featured two guys named Dante Leone and Ninja Mac, who had one of the spottiest spot fests ever. I enjoyed it, but it was crazy and ridiculous. And you may have seen the gif that was going around where the guy was sitting in the chair and the guy just kept doing backflips over and over in his face, and then eventually dropped an elbow.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
It's so
Was that the
stupid
one
and
where he
ridiculous.
finally got the elbow and it was the like sloppiest, shittiest looking elbow ever?
It landed square, Chris. It landed
Yeah.
square. But this the Dante Leon guy does like an inverted cutter where he runs into the ropes or into the turnbuckle, does a backflip, and while he's turning it around and going upside down, he grabs the guy and does a cutter. It's one of the moves where clearly everyone's working together to make it happen, but it looks fucking cool.
Right. Interesting.
But yeah, come on, we can watch that kind of crap. You can shit all over it. I'll say why I love it, and it's more fun than literally talking about how awesome Suggs is every week, because we all know that's true.
You know, shockingly, like, I don't enjoy shitting on things all the time. Like, it may sound like I do, but
That's horseshit,
shit.
man. I've known you and initially thought you were the positive, upbeat guy, Chris, but you are a hater.
Oh, 100%. He is a hater. A snob.
You're a very upbeat hater. So
What?
You don't come off as negative, but you're definitely like, fuck that.
I am shook, guys. I don't know what to say right now. This is just a
He's your
revelation.
family, and I've known you for a while, but he's your family, so you know it's true.
100%.
And Ben,
100%.
I think when we go to shows, you are shitting on stuff more than I am now. Come on.
Hey,
I didn't
shit
say
on
I-
stuff too. Don't worry.
I didn't
we
say I
all do.
wasn't, but I was just saying you do too.
Yeah, he's like a birds of a feather scenario. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Like,
fair.
like I feel I can hate on certain kinds, but you're exactly the same. You may be a little bit harsher, where I can on some things, or I may be a little harsher on other things.
Right. I do remember that
I love
last
everything, even though I think it's terrible.
I remember that last international assault show that we went to, Ben, and something that we definitely bonded over fucking hating, which is funny in hindsight, was Indy Hartwell.
Oh yeah.
And now she's like
Fuck.
this whole fucking big star in like NXT, and it's like I just remember us saying how fucking dog shit she was on this show.
Oh fucking hell, she was fucking horrible. I still fucking can't stand her.
I mean, I guess that's a thing, but still. Anyway,
Yeah,
positivity.
I still don't. I don't know how she makes a living out of it. It was like it's like painful to fucking watch. Like, when her mouth opens, my spirits drop. That chick is utter trash.
Damn.
I mean, I got that, like, that she's meant to be that, you know, that person that pisses you off verbally and that. But to me, it was, like, more just her actual in-ring wrestling was, like, more
Well, that's
offensive
what I
than
meant.
anything.
But if she could wrestle, I could handle the personality because then it would really work. But her high point was her mouth, and that annoyed me. But then she couldn't wrestle at the same time. It's like, oh, there's a double whammy.
But
of
you mean,
annoyance.
like, not in, like, a getting heat kind of way.
Yeah. Well, I guess she did get she was good at getting heat with the crowd, but it's like she needed to be able to back it up by being able to actually do something in the ring, in my opinion.
Right.
Well, now she's popular on NXT.
Yeah,
At
they
least
love her.
being entertaining, and she must be at least perfectly passable in the ring. Like, some people aren't going to be knockout tests. Hey, she's fallen in love with a serial killer guy, guys. It's good wrestling TV. You gotta love it.
What's with that guy always being in romance angles, by the way? Like, I remember him in, like, TNA, and they had him in, like, this never-ending, like, romance deal with fucking... I can't even remember. Was it that girl who, like, got in trouble recently for, like, not giving credit to the photographer or whatever it was?
Oh, Chelsea Green. I don't
Yeah.
remember. I just know that the guy in both iterations of his character, he doesn't talk whatsoever. So he's clearly dog shit on a microphone, and just has this creepy ass look. He's a tremendous artist. The guy can draw like a motherfucker, but I've never saw the appeal of Sam Shaw. Again, maybe he's one of those guys like just not for me. Like, I don't know.
Right.
Fuck that guy and his serial killer goofiness and his stupid name Dexter Loomis.
That is a bad wrestling name right there. I mean, WWE name generator, like, just classic. Like, not any surprises there, but still.
I guess we're all a bit of a hater. That was a hater movement. Let's move on to the things that we like now.
A weekly segment of all of the things we hate. Didn't even get started on Max Caster.
Oh, that fuckwit. Oh,
I love his rhymes.
Well, it's bad enough when he actually has to wrestle in a tag team, but then they gave him single spots. It's like, oh my god, why are you torturing me with this shit?
I swear he's got to be giving like big TK some like sexual favors or something.
Unless
Whoa.
TK is obsessed with his fucking father being a former tight end fucking footballer. He owes his father a favor or something, because that guy, damn.
Never have I
It makes
seen
Indy
someone get
Hartwell
so
look
many
good.
chances and just like shit the bed on every one of them, but keep getting more chances.
I find
It's
his rapping hilarious.
Sorry?
To counter. I said I find his rapping hilarious.
I
said
didn't
Max
hear you. Did you
Caster,
say
right?
terrible?
Yeah.
No, hilarious.
So awful.
Hilarious.
If it's hilarious because it's so bad, it's painful, I totally agree.
No, the rhymes are fucking good and mean. He's not necessarily a good rapper, but whoever's writing these lines for him, they're fucking good, and they're fucking terribly in your face.
Oh, I have nothing
cheap heat,
against
they're
his
all
rapping.
cheap heat nonsense. Yeah.
His rapping is whatever.
True.
It's his
True.
gimmick. But it's just when the bell rings, that's my issue.
It's an entertainment show, not a wrestling show for me.
All right. We've seriously finished shitting on all of the things.
Let's make sure we're not done shitting on things. Hang on. All right, let's continue on.
So we did watch some Noah. Primarily two shows that took place in the month of March. The Great Voyage 2021 in Fukuoka, and NOAH The Infinity 2021 from Korakuen Hall. But before we jump into those, there was a show just prior to the Great Voyage in Fukuoka titled Great Voyage in Yokohama that I just wanted to mention. The main event of this show. So I know Ben watched it. I don't think I sent it to you, Jeremy. But that fucking tag title match with Sakuraba and Segura against the aggression of Masa and Nakajima. Holy shit, that was one of like the most enjoyable tag matches I've ever seen. Ben?
I definitely remember loving it.
With the headbutt finish?
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's where the big headbutt starts from the leading into the next one. Yeah. No, I did. That was was it stoppage by a headbutt where the fucking blood was pouring out of his face?
Yeah, I think so.
It was.
And it was the tag title change where Segura-gun finally dropped the straps. So I just want to highly encourage everyone to go out of your way to watch that match. And Sakuraba had a fantastic performance as well. All parts of this match were just fun as shit.
Didn't Masa have a cool submission too that he
had
put
the lockdown
on Stuggs and finally got his win against him?
Yeah.
Big time win in a big match.
Yep, after like them having this whole like backstory and him finally getting the big win over Big Daddy Suggs. Oh, it was a great time. See, there you go. All of the negativity's gone. Positivity train. We're in the happy train here,
and you
guys.
also put over Suggs, as I predicted.
All right, so after making sure we just have to say that on the Great Voyage in Yokohama, we then get into Great Voyage in Fukuoka. This happened on the 14th of March from Fukuoka, Japan, shockingly. And this was, I thought, a very fun show all around. Any things that stand out to you guys before we jump into the card here?
How about the new gear from the Funky Express?
That's the
Oh,
first thing
yes.
I definitely need to find out what the hell's going on there.
Yeah, so that happened in the show previously where friggin' Kone got Tanner to start wearing it's gold pants with Tanner on the butt with the rainbow and the
Yeah.
big cool.
So we have Funky
like
Yone,
snake.
and now we have Funkytani.
Yeah.
And that's Taniguchi, the same badass guy from all the
Yeah.
other shows that does all the gnarly ass headbutts and
Yeah.
fucking double overhand chops and shit. Yeah.
How great is
So
that?
at first I was like, what the hell is going on here?
How cool is their pose together? Where they're both doing
the disco point?
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
like is it Saturday Night Live, the Travolta type thing or something?
Yep. I
It's a
think
cool
it's
update
just
for his characters.
the funk is very easy to catch. He just caught that funk, and now he's all funkified, and the Funky Express is on its way.
Very nice. Yeah, because seriously, all I could think about it at first, I was like, okay, this is a new guy because it can't be Taniguchi that I remember. I was googling and she was like, no, it looks like that same motherfucker. Wow,
It's got the
tremendous.
cool, nice haircut as well, the slick back sides and everything. That it was definitely good, nice to see.
So we're not going to see Funkytani grow out the afro like Yone.
Maybe I'll just get a wig, like a sweet wig to wear to enter with. That'd be so dope.
Yeah.
But there is the nice part where the lead into the next show is where the Funky Express have a tag match against what's Sato and
Akatoshi, Cyto, and Masao Inoue. I think they're like the anti-wrestling club or something like that.
Yeah, anti-wrestling alliance.
Yep.
Where they have a tag match where the winner absorbs the other tag team into their group.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're all gonna be funky as hell, aren't they?
Oh fuck off!
Hey, they had some moments where I was on the edge of my seat, Ben. I was thinking, shit, is the Funky Express over before it has even begun?
But then you see the next one. You see Sato, I think, ends up wearing the blue and like has like the grey slick back hair.
Yeah, he goes back to the bleach hair.
Yeah, and is wearing bright pink.
Yeah,
It's
I'm very excited for
gold.
this in the future.
But he doesn't the others all have the long, nice snake type scarf thing. He gets like a mini one. It's like the size of it wouldn't be any more than like half a meter compared to their ones that like hit the ground. It's like a little baby.
Just a comedically short, crappy one. I love it.
And then they had this cool team pose as well. On their first match,
Very excited. Well, I think
so
we don't need to like go on a match by match basis for these shows, because I think a lot of them, this Fukuoka show was a bit of a while back when I watched the whole thing last, so I think there's going to be a lot of me being like, I think I remember that match. Probably won't make for great podcast audio.
Well, I did take a couple of notes that I wanted to...
Yeah, please. That's what I'm saying. If you got specific notes on certain matches, throw them out here right now. Let's go over it.
Well, I'll go in order. So with the first match, like the first thing I say, again, Taniguchi, what the hell's going on? But I also
so this is Kinya Okada, Yatsutaka Yano, Yoshiki Inamura versus the Full Throttle trio of Hajime Ohara, Yohei, and also teaming with Shuhei Taniguchi, or Funkytani, as we say.
So my notes were Okada looks like he actually has been putting on some mass because he's like filled out a lot more. Maybe he's like, gonna eventually try to like slim out, just try to get more big, be a bigger heavyweight.
He's
I
a beefy boy.
I wanted to put over Inamura now doing that stalling vertical suplex where he does the squat. Like that's perfect for his character. It's so
Fucking
good.
love it.
And
Yeah.
then it cued the announcer guy about Inamura. He said has the power of 10 pulls, powered by 10 bulls.
I remember that now.
Oh,
I really want to put over the commentary
Mm.
as well before we
yeah.
get too far on this, because again, I feel like in the past I've maybe shit on these guys a little bit, but
Oh,
they've won me
same.
over so damn hard. Like,
Oh,
tremendous.
100%.
Yeah, when the second show you had me watch a couple matches from when it was just the Japanese commentators on there, I was like, I mean, I'll still get the feel, but I kind of like, especially the low key guy of the English commentator. He's like, okay, Nakama or whatever, Nakajima's gonna do this,
Yeah.
really chill. I dig his style.
I think is it Pickering, that one?
Yeah, I think that is.
Is he the one who
Speaking
has
of
the great
commentary-
thing on either Masa or Inamura, where he's like, how many pies could he eat? He ate all of the pies. You remember this?
I think that's the other guy.
That's the
Yeah,
other
I
guy.
forgot the other guy.
Comedic.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the other guy's really funny and does the crazy statements where I think Pickering has all the info, the background, and really gives you like the move names that you never really knew before.
Yep.
Or tells
Yeah.
what they're from, like the
Yeah.
prefecture of Japan or whatever. But
And then like the type of people, it's like he's known as like pretty much these people are snobby in Fukuoka compared to Tokyo or something like that.
oh yeah, that commentary was funny. It's like, yeah, they're really nice people down here. But Chris, I want to say,
one of them.
commentary wise, not to all of a sudden move on to me. The Whack, when they come back, they're gonna have me be lead commentary with like a revolving cavalcade of wrestlers being my color guy. I guess I'll be a mixture of color and play by play because I'm not really that straight laced. But yeah, that's an interesting development. I'm gonna be doing
nice.
commentary again.
So kind of like PWG from back in the day, we'd have Excalibur and then just all of the rotating thing of your Chris Heroes, your Chuck Taylors, that kind of vibe.
Yeah. So as long as I don't get nervous, because Lisa, I mean, we know I can talk and go on forever. So as long as I don't get nervous, I think I can pull this shit off.
Nice. Congrats, man. That's cool.
100%.
I could be powered by 10 bulls. 10 bulls by 10 bulls. All right, so that's all I had. What do you have for this one, Ben?
I had a couple of notes. Like Yano was really impressed with Yano. Just the forearms, the drop kicks, the crucifix. He was looking really crisp in the ring, and he had a nice little spot where he'd been trying to put Yohei in like a body slam the entire match, then finally gets it.
Yes.
Which was quite nice to see. And just then like how Yohei gets the win with that double knee off, I think the ropes on with Yano.
Yep.
And,
So I know Yohei does his like jumping variation where he just jumps up
Yeah.
real high and then comes down the dude. Always looks real cool. But yeah, there's something that I really want to put over, like how good the current crop of Noah, like young boys, rookies, whatever it is, they all look so damn good already. So I just feel like the sky's the limit. And yeah, I see huge things for Kinya Okada specifically.
Oh, 100%. And then pretty much everything else was about Inamura, which Jeremy pretty much covered.
Everything Inamura does looks fun.
Yeah, like he did a sumo push where Yohei pretty much went across half the ring. That was cool.
I remember that.
I'm surprised he didn't go outside the ring with the power.
Just like that gif that went crazy from that indie match where the dude took like the pounce and then he just like flies over the top rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually mentioned the young guys, like in the next match, that guy Miawaki, that guy.
Junta.
As we watched him develop, like other shows I've watched, he's gotten really, really damn good. He's a lot of fun to watch. And then they put over how he was working with Sakuraba, and that was like immediately shown in the match. And yeah, I'm really digging that guy.
Yeah, oh for sure. And then like going on to the next show that we're going to talk about, where he had like a really big, probably the biggest match of his career in the junior tag title challenge. You definitely saw a lot of that Sakuraba-ism to his work in the later part of it. We'll talk a bit more about that later. But yeah, Junta looking fucking good.
Because he has the judo background, doesn't he, Junta?
I think so, yeah.
Because he has that cool armbar
Yes.
Like did a toss to an armbar, which was really cool in that match against Hayata.
Yep.
That was just
And his drop
let's
kicks.
say. Well, they're always crisp. The drop kicks and the had started like a bullet out of a gun in the start of the match with just crazy forearms and everything he does well.
Hayata is also very good too. His opponent in this match. A guy that's like sometimes I don't get the most excited to watch his matches, but I'm always like when I'm watching him, I'm just like, this guy is a good wrestler.
Yeah, he kind of flew under the radar for me at first. Like I remember I kind of pitching him and Ogawa as just two older guys, but he's like freaking awesome. And I guess he's not as old as I thought he was. I just assumed, but yeah, he's tremendous, and he's pulling double duty on this show.
Yeah. Someone dropped out. I remember because like a COVID thing. Do you remember who it was, Ben?
Was it Ogawa who pulled out?
Yeah,
they were
well,
that tag match
Ogawa is
later.
not on this show, so that would make sense.
Oh, that tag match is on the next show. Never mind. All right.
Yeah, I think he was on the other one, but yeah, Hayata replaced by Ogawa.
Yep.
Yeah, the COVID thing.
And then more recently, it's a bit of a side tangent. Did you guys hear about Kenno getting the COVID? Real bad, apparently. At the time, he thought he was going to die. And then not only did he miss matches where he said it was like the first time in like 10 years that he missed a booking, but then his stablemates in Congo, Manabu Soya and was it Tadasuke, Ben? I want to say like they.
I thought it was Heyo.
How? Yeah, I think you're right.
How? That's it. How?
I think you're right. And then he had this big apology for it because then they missed out on matches and whole thing.
Yeah. Then how is Fujita? He's fucking old. Like, did he get fucking corona?
No, because they don't travel together.
Well, they were wrestling each other, or directly on top of each other.
It must have happened after that, I'm guessing, because otherwise he would have.
Yeah, but it also was cool to like know that like they're actually like a real stable, like they actually hang out and have dinner together and like train together.
That's the craziest silver lining I ever heard in my life, Chris. Like, they all got corona. It's good to know they're actually bros.
Nearly dies, but yeah, it's cool like hang out together.
It was some sort of warm, fuzzy lining, okay? Fuck.
Yeah, whatever, yeah. That's awesome.
Alright, yeah, that's funny. Any memories of Yone versus Akatoshi Cyto in a singles match?
Actually, I do remember the finish.
Yeah, well, I do write crazy finish on here.
Yeah, it's like the death clunk, impressive. Hold them on the forehead and slams the like a choke slam, and Yone follows it up with a huge head kick and clothesline, and to get the 1, 2, 3 after Sato had pretty much dominated the proceeding of the match, the previous parts of the match.
Yeah, to me, Saito's like a kung fu end boss type of guy. He just demolishes. That's the whole vibe during the whole match to me. But yeah, the multiple STOs and then just beats that with the big lariat for the win. But yeah, he looks just so gnarly. Like, oh man, this guy's gonna hurt you.
I love how just like thick he is. Like, I mean, both of these guys really. They're just like the. I mean, we've got the New Japan dads. These are like the Noah dads. And I
do enjoy they get to do more than Noah dads than what the ones in New Japan do.
100%. Yeah.
It's like you actually see them get put over in certain parts where the New Japan, it's very rare that you'll ever see one of them get put over in anything.
Yeah, like you
he
can
looks
see
like
these guys can still go. And you get to see that at certain times, whereas like New Japan dads, like they can still go, but it's like you would see that so rarely. Like, would they ever be put in a position to be able to still go?
Saito totally has like a dad tattoo, like on his arm. It's one of those tattoos where it should be bigger, and where the placement is, it was like I didn't want to get a huge tattoo, but I still wanted a tattoo. I was a little afraid of getting the real big one.
Well, he made up for it with his sweet top of the shoulders tribal on the back.
Yeah, that shit's gnarly as that shit's gnarly. But he just looks mean as fuck.
He's great. I'm a big fan of Akatoshi Cyto. Go Dads. Anything for Daisuke Harada and Kai Fujimura, who I don't know too much about Kai Fujimura, against the Stinger duo of Hayata and Yuya Susumu.
I actually was not familiar with this new Stinger. Was this guy from Stinger like been around, or was he
Yuya?
gone for a while? Because I don't remember seeing him.
Yeah, he had this whole thing where he like started under like a mask as like this. I can't even remember his name.
Oh, that's that mask.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was impressed. I think that this match was pretty awesome.
Yeah, Susumu has a great match on the next night, a singles match against Hajime Ohara that I was just raving to Ben about the other day when I watched it. That one's worth going out of your way to watch. But yeah, I don't have any recollection of this tag bout.
I just have some like comments like Fujimura had just the great forearms drop kicks, which most Noah juniors do. Looked pretty good in the ring. Susumu looked really good working over the rookie, and just the finish was Susumu was, I think he got him in a crossface or something.
Yeah, it was a roll up into
yeah. Fujimura went for an elbow off the top ropes, the forearm, into crossface.
Yeah, he's been using that as his finish for the last little while.
The other thing I mentioned, or note on, a lot of people do this in matches, but when somebody has like the submission hold, the other guy will go and cut off part of the ring. But they normally only do that when it's the finish of the match. But this happened like a couple times where Hayata was just doing it to do it, and it wasn't necessarily the finish of the match, which I appreciate. It shows like, some urgency to actually get this pin, whereas normally like, I'll just hang out in the corner, and I mean, I know it's not the actual finish. There's no reason to defend this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's like one of my favorite spots in matches. It's like when you're guarding the pin like that, and then the dude like
into it.
bulls the guy in to break up the pin, just charges him like right through. Always one of my favorite spots.
Sometimes they rarely ever do it where it's actually where it's not actually a near fall. Like normally like in this situation, he was just at one point just cutting them off just to do it, and then they got to that spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Normally it's like, oh yeah, we're only doing it because I know this is going to be a near fall.
Yeah. Okay, so next up, we actually get 2 matches for the price of 1 in the form of Segura-gun of the Iron-headed giant Kazuyuki Fujita, Kendo Kashin, and Nosawa Rongai against the Congo trio of Hao, Neo, and Kenno.
You've got to remember this bits of this match, Chris.
Yeah, I definitely remember that initially thinking, holy shit, that was it for the first finish. And it got restarted. Yeah, definitely a unique match.
It totally went off the rails, and it's not something I've seen from Noah really. Like everything just went completely off the rails and had to get restarted.
I find that happens a bit when Nassau's in the match.
Any of those crazy juniors, they're a fiery bunch. You never know what's going to happen in the Noah Junior division.
What do you think of little tease of Kenno Fujita stare off to start the match, Chris?
Oh, that was my favourite part of this match by far.
Yeah.
Got me all sizzled up for the following show.
Yeah. What about that first open palm, though, in that exchange they had by Fujita? It was fucking brutal.
And that was like went on to be a significant part of the singles match, the slap off. I really love stuff like that, like being able to plant the seeds that you're then gonna.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Just a little teaser of what's to come in the big one.
And I do, as much as like sometimes Kendo Kashin rubs me the wrong way, there's other times where just his wackiness kind of is just great. Yeah, you just got to put it over.
It's just comical where he keeps looking at the ring and then looking back and looking, then eventually starts to try and run to get back in.
Yeah.
And it's like,
just an error of time management, really, and I can relate to that.
And then it's like, why aren't you happy with me? Because he's lost the match because he can't get back in time. It's fucking funny.
Oh, and did they do the spot with the plexiglass that's come to be one of Kendo Kashin's signature spots?
I remember seeing a plexiglass to face.
I remember seeing it. I just don't know if it was in this match.
Right. Because I remember him doing that to Kenno like a whole bunch, and I thought,
yeah,
because I remember their
100%.
singles match for the title previous to this, and then I thought they maybe did that again in this match.
Yeah, I think
again,
it had to be on the show because I saw it on.
Could have been.
I saw it over the shows that we're watching.
it's a good spot.
Well, then it was.
Any other thoughts on this one?
I was really worried when the stare down happened that we are going to get another half an hour one. So I was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't that. But yeah, I just thought it was great how ridiculous the match got, and then it still got around to plant the seeds of like, okay, this big match is still coming up for these two guys.
Yeah.
And by these two guys, I mean Kenno and Fujita.
All right.
And
so
I can't
then,
man, that's scary as hell. Kenno, man, jeez, like literally one of my favorite guys in this damn company. Can't get the Corona and die.
I know, right? Scary times. I was just assuming he'd be fine because, like, Kenno is so much more badass than coronavirus. Like, coronavirus stands no chance.
He kicked it right to the chest. Big, nice kick.
Yep, he's going to double stomp coronavirus right through the chest. All right, so then we move on to a lot of people, apparently their favourite match of the show, according to the cage match aggregate rating system, where you can vote for the matches. The GHC Junior Heavyweight title bout of the evening. We got Seiki Yoshioka's first title defense after he won that strap from Daisuke Harada at Budokan Hall against the tag partner of Daisuke Harada, Atsushi Kotoge. And this match, while the result dismayed me a little bit, I cannot say that I did not think this was a tremendous match.
For me, it actually was my favourite match of the show until I rewatched it, and then it wasn't my favourite match of the show.
Oh shit!
Wait. So, but not rewatching this match, rewatching the other match. Is that what you're saying?
So I rewatched this match again today, and I watched the Mutoh and Kaito one as well yesterday.
I see.
And rewatching both of them, I found I enjoyed the main event more the second time than I did this match, even though I remember loving it when I watched it the first time.
I could see that.
I know a bit of the gloss was off it, but yeah.
But I mean, I would say that that's not as much insult to this match as much as more a compliment to the main event when you really watch the main event with careful eyes, because it's beautiful storytelling.
Oh, 100%. It definitely was a great story in the main.
I thought this match was freaking incredible. The story from the main event, as you said, was beautiful, but this was just so exciting, and I didn't expect the title exchange. And Kotoge is one of those guys that at first I didn't really catch on how amazing he is because he's kind of low key and kind of aloof. But wow, the guy's freaking good. Like, he did that crazy Frankensteiner over the top.
Yeah.
He did that crazy drop kick landing on the apron, like nuts. Like, and I noticed that the aprons are so much bigger, so they can flat back bump on these aprons like way easy. And then that one thing, it's like a gory special GTS that it looks cool, but if they don't catch it right, it looks stupid as fuck. But in this match, they caught it amazing. That thing is cool. I don't even know what it's called, but like the guy jumps up, he turns around, catches him into like a gory special, and then spins him around to a GTS.
Oh, that was my favorite spot of this whole match, I want to say.
Yeah.
It just like the timing of it and just catching him in that gory special position and then just spinning out into that sweet like spinny go to sleep kind of thing was just
Yeah.
like so impressive, but
Mm.
also it didn't look like overly cooperative. As you know, getting back to the stuff we were shitting on earlier, or I was shitting on earlier, it's like when the sloppy indie shit is just like it looks like this choreographed fucking dance performance, whereas
Mm.
this had all of that impressive shit, but it looked like a fucking athletic contest. And it's about the timing, and these guys' timing through this whole match was like fucking, I can't put it over enough, hey.
It was pretty perfect. The finish stretch too was just insane. The moves they were going back and forth with. Although the
Agreed.
one I loved the most was that when Yoshioka looks like he has it when he lands that huge head kick to a Toge when he's on his knees in the middle of the ring, just the
Huge.
connection sounded
Flush. Yes.
beautiful.
And like
Yeah, totally
Yoshioka's
what I
kicks
told you,
in
like,
general.
He kicked him flush in the head. It was beautiful.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone has the precision that I see him with at the moment. It's just
Or the snappiness.
anything he tries, it just looks like that would actually really hurt.
Yeah, that one kick he does where it's kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but it's when he kicks him in the abdomen and then it holds his foot in place and then he spins around and kicks him again. Like
Specs
I
them,
don't know how he figured that out, or his body actually does that, but it's incredible.
Oh, it looks beautiful because the connection of the second kick coming down just looks so impactful. Like it's not just like for show; it actually makes contact and would hurt.
And then also the other note I have on here is the finish with the kill switch is probably the best kill switch I ever seen. Like he head spikes him perfect.
And it's all about Yoshioka's bump, like him taking that spike bump on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I normally do hate that move, like nothing else. But that one actually I did enjoy because of the way Yoshioka took it with the fucking spike on the head. It's like, fuck me, commits to dropping his title.
Yeah. Felt so bad in hindsight of Yoshioka dropping the belt on his first defense when he's as fucking good as he is. But what can 100%. You say?
100%.
I mean, what do you guys think the idea is? Like, he won the title but then lost it so fast because of the inexperience, and then down the road when he finally wins it, like, he'll have learned, and then that's part of the story.
Let me ask you guys, Noah isn't the kind of company to have them do another title match and then switch the title back onto him again real quick, like showing that it's like these two guys have each other's number, like, you know what I mean, that story? Or
I
that's not
could see Nasawa doing that, but I don't get it with this one, especially knowing I've seen a few shows down the line, the way this sort of goes. I don't know. Maybe have you got any more of an idea of why you reckon they've done that, Chris? Besides what you said.
Well, I mean, and again, I've the most recent show I've watched is the following night's Korakuen, but I know in the following ensuing shows that Yoshioka has like a heel turn basically coming up. So is it perhaps the idea of like the frustration of him getting this belt and like just losing it so fast is what spurred this like asshole side of him to come out of like frustration kind of thing? Is that like maybe a deal?
But I'm intrigued to see where it goes because with the turn that's occurred, it's like I'm just intrigued to see. It does open up a few options, but I was completely surprised of all the matches in this. This was the most surprising what actually happened.
As were the commentators.
I did not see it happening. I just thought it'd be a good match, put the one title defense under the belt, and move on to a bigger one down the line, maybe.
Yeah, I was seeing it as like a token first title defense against a guy that's like, real good like Katoge. But at the same time, like, we need to put over as well that this is the first time that Katoge has had the junior title in a long time. Because like he moved up to heavyweight for a while and then finally went back to the tag team with Daisuke Harada, that reunion that we talked about over like the N1 tournament. That was a big deal for him. And then so finally he's back in this like junior division, and this is the first time that he's held the junior title since, man, I'm trying to think of like when the
Before
last
my
time.
time.
Hang on. Oh, I think with the power of the internet here, his last junior singles junior title run was back in 2016.
Oh, what a guess.
Did you say 2016?
Yeah, I did. I just
Oh,
guessed that.
fuck. Good job.
Mm. Thank you.
So that he looked like a bit glassy-eyed, you know, when he won that belt. And I was like, I feel like this means a lot to him that he's like finally got it back. So, yeah, first time since 2016. That'll do it. You all still there?
Yeah, I'm here, buddy.
Yep.
All right.
Still there.
So, next match, we have our semi-main event, the Noahism versus Congo bout of the evening. So we basically have the Noah supergroup of Go Shiozaki, Kotaro Suzuki, Marufuji, and Takashi Segura versus the Congo group of Nakajima, Manabu Soya, Masakita Miya, and Tadasuke. What an amalgamation of talent on the first half of that first team of the two there, the Noahism supergroup.
Noahism.
Legends, living legends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I just really love watching Kotaro Suzuki wrestle whenever I get to see him wrestle. He always looks so damn good. Wanted to just draw general attention to that.
I agree 100%. Always really
Oh.
entertaining, really crazy style mix. Yeah, he's one of the compelling guys. Isn't he the one with all the crazy outfit too?
Yeah, he has like the cool mask
he's
and
crazy.
stuff.
Yeah. Like his presentation, both coming to the ring and actually within the ring, is just spot on.
And just very, very talented wrestler. Like when the bell
Does anyone
goes.
have as big a moveset as what Suzuki has, Kotaro?
As big a what?
The amount of thing
His
moveset.
moveset, yeah, very versatile.
He can do whatever. Every match, you see something different.
That's a good call.
He just is able to pull so many things out of his bag that other guys just sort of like they stick to a certain set of moves and they do it every match. You know they're going to hit this and that. Where with him, you see him like he always has his favorites, but he just every now and then you just see him bring out this another one. It's just like, what can't this guy do?
Yeah, absolutely.
You definitely keep your eyes on him because you don't expect like the next thing to happen. Yeah, I really enjoy this. I want to put over the commentator guy. He called Masa Japanese pro wrestler Mr. T.
I remember that. I got a good little laugh on that one.
Yeah. And then I really enjoyed the spot where, of course, Go and Marufuji decided they want to have a chop off with this guy. So they're just holding one arm each and just chopping the shit out of the motherfucker. It was great.
There was definitely a point there where I felt like Marufuji regretted his decision.
Yeah, it was on there. Tadasuke. That's who it was. They were doing the chops of.
Yep.
I also like the interaction between Go and Marufuji at just the start of the match, where Go's just taking a piss at him, just pretending he's not even there, as he's like.
Oh, you mean Nakajima?
Yeah. No, Go and Marufuji. Just how he's like saying, I think he gives a handshake to Suzuki, Suggs, and then sort of just pretends Marufuji's not even in his team.
Yeah.
It's just like, just always picking on him.
I thought you were talking about the exchange between Nakajima and Go because they were going off on each other.
Yeah.
Especially that exchange between the kicks and the chops later.
Yeah.
Like, these guys just laid the hell into each other. And these guys, you said they used to be a tag team? Like that was the whole story back in the day?
Yeah, Axis.
Well, that was the thing. Like, that was their move. Like, Go would chop one side and Nakajima would kick the back. And, like, that's pretty much what they do to each other now. It's like, every time they're in the ring together, Nakajima is going to kick the fuck out of his chest and Go is going to chop him straight back.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's
it's
awesome.
that never-ending duel of chop, kick, and it never gets old.
Oh, 100%. You look forward to every time.
Yeah. I could watch these guys wrestle forever.
And I've noticed that Kaito lately's been doing that huge like headbutt. I really no, sorry, not Kaito. Masa Kiyomiya.
Masa, yeah.
Where he won with where he won the TKO. He brings that again in this match.
Yeah, he's been doing that headbutt for a while. I think it's like a tribute to his idol,
Masa
basically.
Cyto, isn't it?
Yeah, Masa Cyto.
Because I think they even may have talked about that.
He also
Well,
did
maybe
that big Samoan drop, and the announcer guy called it a fall away slam.
I think I remember that. Yeah,
that's not right.
Gets a pass
And
from
this is also-
doing a really good job for the rest of the show, though. I'll not bury this commentary at all.
Anytime I point something out, it's just because it's silly and funny to me, not to actually bury these guys. Don't get me wrong.
Unlike when Chris complains about things.
Well, I probably was the same too, but they're pretty damn good at the moment. But also, the one thing I noticed in the match, how Masa actually got to shine in such a big tag team with such like Noah greats, where he got the point where he clotheslines Marufuji, then Suzuki, then Spears Go and Suggs. It's like he was actually getting to shine above the others, like they were trying to make a point about towards him being the next challenger for Mutoh.
Yeah, even though we were not necessarily were we aware of that technically storyline wise at that point?
No.
So it's exactly. No, you're right.
Jump the gun.
They're planting the seeds perfectly because that's like, oh, look how impressive this guy is, because they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And that's how pro wrestling booking should go, you know? It's like you want to give a guy a big shot, like fucking build him up beforehand. That's exactly what they've been doing.
Yep.
All right, any other thoughts on this one before we get to our main event of the evening?
Just really enjoyed it. It highlighted all these guys really well.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So the main event was the big Keiji Mutoh first title defense against Kaito Kiyomiya after Keiji Mutoh won the belt on the previous big Budokan Hall show. And a lot of us were thinking that, Mutoh was going to drop the belt on his first title defense. Because, like, how could Kaito lose, you know? And then, shockingly, after a great bout that, like, didn't feel like it went nearly as long as it did, Mutoh got the big upset win. Madness. But I really enjoyed it.
I see a lot of people online that when I tweet about Noah, I always get the people who hate the fact that this old man Muda is got the title and he's going over guys like Kiyomiya. They're like really, really pissed off about it. But I'm like, while I do understand that they want this company to be building toward the future, you can't deny the two matches that I've seen aren't fucking great, telling a great story. Muda doesn't look like a goof. Like he doesn't look super limited because the way they're working. It doesn't look like they're just having this man have a victory run with this title just to do so. I really, really dug this match.
Yeah, 100%. Like, that's what you see all these people that are like saying, oh, Mutoh is getting like the sympathy run and like you can't go anymore and it's just real sad. And it's like, you're clearly not fucking watching the matches because like Mutoh is looking better than he's looked since like fucking the early 2000s, in my opinion. Like, ever since he got this double knee replacement, he's been looking great. I mean, he had that one fucking spot where everyone gifted it and shit, where he did that like handspring elbow that didn't go quite right in the one of the prior shows. But like, I thought overall this match was great, and they did a great job of just showing like Mutoh's got that like experience and that like wily veteran thing, and he's just such a smart wrestler, and he's like winning because of wrestling the smart match. Yeah, I'm really liking this run, and yeah, when I originally was, Mutoh beat Go, and I was just heartbroken. Yeah, I can see, or I'm starting to see now, like the reason why they did it. Mutoh was like, this is like maybe his last like great run.
Hey fellas,
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, babe.
Oh, I haven't been able to hear you for like the last 3 minutes.
Oh shit. I was just
It's
talking.
stimulating commentary on the match.
Yeah, just long-winded bullshit on saying that Muto's surprisingly still very good.
I actually agree with you, and as much as it made me almost cry, him winning the belt off Go, he actually has been really good. Really actually impressive. Because he actually has had so much left in the tank.
And they're working around the limitations so well. Like there was a couple spots where like he no sell getting the drop kicks, and it looked like maybe this guy just doesn't want to fall down, so he doesn't have to get up again. But like the way they made it look like he was no selling it and then saying motherfucker, like swearing back at the guy, and then the announce team was like, "Oh, something he picked up in America."
I laughed so much when they draw attention to that.
Yeah, but honestly, like they are totally working around his limitations in a way that he looks great. And as Chris said, like if you're complaining that he looks like shit, you're not really watching the full match. You're just prejudging it.
Yeah, I
like
that's my thoughts.
The Frankensteiner was beautiful. He nailed it.
It's actually getting better from the first one he pulled off, where he gets to the one he pulled off in this one. He actually is looking a lot better now.
Yeah,
he seems to, I don't know what it is, but yeah, that one looked a lot better than the first one.
Yeah, I agree.
Kaito could probably got more offense during the match overall. Like he didn't necessarily get a ton, but still, like it was a great match. Looked really good. I put another note in here. Here's me making fun of the announcers. At one point, the dude calls a leg whip a shining wizard, and the other dude puts it over as a shining wizard as well, like because he didn't want to bury his commentator partner.
Aww.
And then the dude corrects himself a little bit later when a real shining wizard occurs. The whole situation is like, oh, that was funny how that all played out. You remember that, Ben or Chris?
I definitely remember that. I was like, no, you did not do a shining wizard.
Yeah, that was not a shining wizard whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, another one. I'd never actually seen someone kick out of Kaito's Tiger Suplex.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they protected that really well. So I thought it was like a big moment when Mutoh kicked out of it. And also it's like a gnarly bump for a dude Mutoh's age to be taking as well.
He did the Emerald Flosion, he did the Tiger Suplex. I was like, okay, this is going to be the win. It's like, no, not only kicks out of it, but then Mutoh pulls the Frankensteiner out after it.
I guess Mutoh's just got this undeniable old man power.
Oh, he definitely does.
Mutoh's powerful chest hair, by the way. Just gonna put that over.
What did you think of the home stretch?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I didn't think that Kaito looked bad in the loss either.
Yeah.
Like it was the idea he just like Mutoh had a real smart game plan and working over the arm, and finally just like it was too much, and obviously he got him with the armbar and that was that. But it's like I didn't feel that Kaito looked like weak in the loss. And yeah, I really liked the sort of escalation of the match towards like the finishing stages of it.
Yeah, definitely, because he sort of paced it. Because normally you see a lot more of the Shining Wizard a lot earlier, but he sort of slow, then built it, and then it just went to a new level in the home stretch where he pulls out the back-to-back Shining Wizards, a leg drop, another 2 Shining Wizards, gets a 2 count, then goes the drop kick off the second ropes, a dragon screw, Shining Wizard, then goes back to the story of the match, where he's been over the arm, pulls out the wrist lock to the arm bar. It's like, it was really, really, well, that's why the second time around is like, I think I appreciated it more.
Yeah, for sure. And it's always like one of my pet peeves in wrestling when it's like they work over this body part for like ages in the match and then they just like forget about it when they go down the finishing stretch.
Nothing to do with the finish.
Yeah. But this definitely was the opposite.
No, totally agree.
Yeah. I definitely have to put this over, put Mutoh over. Felt bad for Kaito in having to take that other loss, but I mean, don't know where this is going. Is Kaito finally going to get another title shot and then win that one? He finally gets his win over Mutoh at that point. Who knows?
No, definitely. I mean, definitely intrigued to see where they go with it.
Yeah, they
Definitely looking
keep us
forward.
on our toes.
No, definitely do.
When's the Massa match happen?
It happened about a week ago.
Oh, did
no,
it already happen?
Yeah,
Week
which
ago,
I
yeah.
heard great things about, by the way. We should definitely talk about that at some point in the future.
Yeah.
That's where I think a couple matches into that show at the moment. I started watching it. Then when you said you want to record this, I stopped watching that and then rewatched a few of these matches so they were completely blank in my mind.
Nice. All right. Well, that is pretty much this show done and dusted. Then we go on to Korakuen, where Ben and I watched pretty well this whole show. I was only going to watch like... my dog is walking over my keyboard. Apologies. You guys still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're just being jerks on purpose because they haven't had dinner yet. It's my fault. Yeah, I was only going to watch the matches on this show, but then I ended up watching 3/4 of it just because the card looked really interesting. Specifically, I really wanted to point out that Hajime Ohara versus Yuya Susumu match being real fun. I spoke to Ben about this one. Really, it's just a highlight of how great Hajime Ohara is. But I thought Susumu is looking better and better every time out. Really like that one. Ben, any thoughts?
I remember enjoying it when I watched it. I can't remember too much of the match now, but I did remember coming away thinking Hajime Ohara always looks great, and just the things he can do is just fucking insane. And Susumu, just the more and more I watch him, the more I'm appreciating how good he actually can be.
Yeah, same. I was a bit doubtful on him to start with, but he's winning me over for sure. Other match worth pointing out. Sorry, what else were you saying?
I was just saying, like I first bagged the English commentary, I first bagged him, and they're both actually turned out to be pretty good.
Maybe that's a props to Noah right there.
Fellas. Huh?
I said maybe that's props to Noah in general right there. It's like they're good picks of talent, regardless of whether we see that immediately or not. All right, so then the other key match I wanted to mention was aforementioned, the one where the losing faction would be absorbed by the other one, which I really just watched because I was very all about the Funky Express. And this match actually ended up being shockingly good down the finishing stretch. Some big near falls and big dramatic moments, and then ending in Akatoshi Cyto and Masawa Noe becoming funky. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing them in the coming shows and their new funky attitudes.
Hell yeah.
Any thoughts, Ben?
For memory, I definitely enjoyed it. I definitely thought it was going back and forth, but I thought storyline wise, had to be the Funky Express were going to come away with a win.
Yeah.
Because seeing those two grumpy old bastards dressed up in fucking disco, it's like, how could you not?
Yeah.
So.
Fuck yeah. Then we had the Segura-gun match of Kendo Kashin and Big Daddy Suggs against the M's Alliance duo of Marufuji and Yuko Miyamoto. I only watched this one because I really like Yuko Miyamoto, and he didn't fail to disappoint. I mean, no, the other way. He didn't disappoint in this match. He looked real good. Any memories of this one, Ben?
Not much, to be honest.
Fair. All right, then we had the six-man tag team bout that I watched only because I really love Osamu Nishimura. So Osamu Nishimura, Kinya Okada, and Inamura against the Congo team of Nakajima, Manabu Soya, and Masa Kitamiya. Yeah, I just really loved watching Osamu Nishimura in this match, and especially how bloody great his European uppercuts are. I'll take that as agreement. And moving on to our semi-main event of the night.
Guys, my silence means I haven't watched these ones. I apologize, fans and listeners.
No.
I apologize. I watched them a while ago, and I've got notes on the Kenno Fujita one, and I remember how good Junta was in the tag title.
Yeah, well, that's okay. That's what we're going to talk about now. So, junior tag title match. Stinger team of Hayata and Ogawa defending the straps against Daisuke Harada and Young Junta. And maybe the biggest match of Junta's career. And I thought Junta shined in this match. And it was like,
I have a question though.
yeah.
At one point in the match, he goes for a pin when the legal man wasn't in the ring. Was that a kayfabe mistake, or do you think that was a genuine mistake there?
I actually didn't notice that.
Yeah, it was at one point in the match. The referee said, "Hey, that guy's not the guy," and he made him get off the guy. So,
was it a sneaky tag that Stinger got?
Oh, that could have been the case. So yeah, maybe it was. He wasn't aware that guy was the actual. Yeah, good call. Good call. I just noticed they told him to get off the damn guy. Like, was that did he hit the guy on accident? I missed the blind tag, as they call it. Hearing or visually impaired tag is what I would call it.
To be politically correct there.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, guy.
Commentary, I'm going to say this. Like a visually impaired tag there.
I wanted to draw attention to just how fired up Ogawa was at certain points in this one with his like punches and eye rakes and stuff. It was like you just maybe missing out on that previous show. He just had a real, axe to grind on this one.
Yeah, he's a crazy old man.
I'm so impressed at like how good shape he's in, how well he moves. Like he's like, especially going through all those years of All Japan and Noah, and he's like still basically the exact same guy. It's impressive.
He looks like he even has the same friggin' tights on he wore friggin' 30 years ago. he's like, I swear I saw something where like 20 years ago, and he looked wearing the same gear. The body looked exactly the same. The hair may have been a little longer, but that's about it.
Yeah, on our All Japan watch nights, we were watching late 90s All Japan featuring Ogawa, and yeah, pretty much the same. Look pretty well exactly the same. Vampire Ogawa.
There was a spot in here where I forget his name, not Junta, the other guy goes to give Hayata a hip toss, but he like turns it into like he spins around and knees the guy in the face. You guys remember that spot?
Yeah. That's always one of Harada's like classic spots, and he does it so damn good.
It's so crisp and crazy. Ogawa does something similar later, but it doesn't look nearly as good as the one Hayata does. It's like, wow, I don't see anybody else done. I mean, I'm sure I've seen people do that, but not nearly with the fluidity and how wide and big he does it.
Yeah. Always looks good.
Actually.
There's also Junta had a beautiful bridge on his suplex, like picture perfect. That guy is great for young. But how old is that guy?
23, maybe.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I think.
I like how they show the ages in the match graphics. Adds something. And I was amazed to see how old Seiki Yoshioka was. I was like, oh, this brooky young chicken of a dude, early 20s. Turns out he's like 34.
I thought Yoshioka was 31.
Hey?
I thought Yoshioka was 31.
Maybe. I think I was just amazed that he was like in his early 30s even.
He does look in fucking unreal shape for...
Yeah.
He looks so...
For sure.
I had some other notes on here. Hayata does a crazy face buster to Junta, like then lands a kick directly into his mouth, like as a double, like a combination move that was freaking incredible. Like Junta sold like he was dead, and then Junta does like some weird arm bar where it's like he captures the other arm at the same time.
Yep.
Like I don't know. I don't know if I may.
Yeah, that crisscross one.
So. Yeah.
So cool.
Fucking crazy.
I'm going to say you got that one from Sakuraba.
You would imagine so, right?
Yeah, I remember being very impressed by that. And just, all of his like arm submission work and that looked great. Yeah, I thought he looked fantastic.
And Stinger had some really high-end, like just great tag team wrestling with the quick tags and everything toward the end. So I feel totally lame how I pigeonholed them as like these two older goofy guys, but they're really fucking great.
They are great salty veterans.
Yes.
Yeah. Overall, I really liked this match, and I originally wasn't even going to watch it, like, because I was like quite limited on time. And I was really glad that I did. I think I've mainly watched it because of Daisuke Harada and him being like my favorite junior. But Junta, fucking great surprise.
Yeah.
And then we had the chaos at the end, where apparently our next challengers are going to be Akuda Hidaka and Nosawa. Which I don't know what to think about that.
Yeah, I think I know how that match is going to end.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Mm.
Auspicious. All right, so main event time. National title defense after Kenno's incredible run of previous national title defenses. This time, he's fighting basically the top tier boss that is Kazuyuki Fujita. And can I just say I loved everything about this match, and this match just like encapsulated my love for wrestling.
I also loved everything about this match, including the very hilarious and awesome pose down where all of Congo got in the ring and just posed forever right in Fujita's face as he just stood there like pleasantly amused by all these guys fucking posing at him. It was just incredible. I seriously laughed so hard. None of the guys in Congo are like smiling whatsoever. They're just mean mugging. So
My
awesome.
favorite part was that when they held the pose and like Kenno has like his fist out, he's basically like just staring really intensely with his like fist towards Fujita's dick, just for like a really extended amount of time.
So long. Oh, and I love Kenno's music, by the way.
Oh, yeah. No.
Garlic voice. Tasty.
Great mean face. Both of these guys have great mean faces. I feel like that was a
Hell yeah.
significant, great part of this with our excellent stare off that we got. Don't know how long that clocked in at.
How long did you think the stare-off was going to go for? That's the question. Because like,
Well, I loved how they did it. Like, I assumed it was going to be long, and then they said, "Nah, fuck it." And they got into it really quick, and then they're like, "Nah,
Wait,
fuck you, we're doing the stare down."
Yeah.
I got all
And
the emotions.
it was interesting, like the crowd clap as well, because like the you know, obviously the big long stare off match with Fujita against Go was like no crowd, so you didn't get that crowd participation in the stare off. Whereas this, you had that like clapping, and it was like felt like there was a couple of people that were just like, "Fuck it, we're gonna clap the whole time, no matter how long these motherfuckers do this stare off." And then eventually you heard the clap, like them sort of give up, and then like they came back with it, which I really enjoyed.
It was definitely just nice to see the crowd interaction, because not knowing what the crowd would have done with the first one where it occurred.
That's the
Then
most
they were
interesting part about that first match, really. Like the idea that it sort of occurred in a vacuum like that.
Where they tried to instigate them actually starting it, but then they hold off for like the second one's like an 8-minute stare down, where Kenno finally like cracks it and is like, "Nah, I'm going for it." Goes for the leg kick or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, they had a great little sort of exchange that was like real intense, getting going with a bang. And then we had that like really cool like grappling exchange where they just sort of like went for it, and he was like in his guard, and like Fujita did that like sort of like amateur wrestling like banana roll thing. Yeah, I really liked just the actual grappling element of this before we got to the big old strike exchanges.
Yeah, where he was just basically just laying him, just wearing him down with his size and weight on top of him for a good part. But then, yeah, that exchange where Fujita's just asking for him to just kick him repeatedly in the corner of the ring, and it's like,
and like where he was kicking him too, like in the midsection and like that ribs kind of area, that looked painful to be getting all those kicks.
Yeah, he was definitely just kicking the tar out of him. But Fuji was like, "I was gonna let this guy wear himself out with all his kicks, and then I'll just take advantage." But yeah, him easing him or easing. I can't talk right now. Trying to instigate him into kicking him more was really intense. I really like that.
Yeah. So good. And then we got the slaps.
Does anyone do a better open palm than Fujita?
Fuck.
I mean, I would say KENOH. KENOH. So that's why I was so looking forward to this, because like both of them have some fucking mean open palm strikes.
I think everything about Fujita is mean. It's like from his power bomb to the head kicks he does. It's like everything he does looks like this is going to want to fucking hurt you and make you cry.
Yeah. To me, he's like everything I want out of when I watch Brock Lesnar wrestle. Like I mean, it's like the Brock that we got in that first like Cena match on the comeback, where he just gave no fucks. I just love Kazuyuki Fujita. He also like reminds me of like the Japanese wrestling version of Shrek in like the nicest way. And thinking back about those slaps, open palm strikes, I would be remiss if I didn't put over Masakatsu Funaki's.
True. He had some amazing ones in his match with KENOH.
Yeah.
I also want to put over the way that KENOH sold these open palm slaps. He literally like buckled into a puddle of KENOH on the floor. It was pretty great.
Yeah, that last one where he just kind of like, woo, and kind of like crumbled.
His just knees dissolved out from underneath him. And,
Yeah. It's like reminds me a lot of Kawada's selves, actually. Like having watched a fair bit of Kawada in the last few weeks, the way he'll like take a strike and then he'll sort of have that like delayed sell afterwards and just kind of like crumple. I feel like we definitely see a lot of
gifs of him doing that.
Sorry?
There's some great gifs out there of Kawada like trying to no sell like a suplex and then just like melts.
Yeah. I think KENOH's definitely inspired a lot by Kawada. That's not like a shock.
And then also on here, the penalty kicks are really stiff, but for the finish, he missed the first one. Do you think that was intentional, or what? Like,
what was that?
The end, there was two. At the end, the very finish, there was two penalty kicks, one attempt, and then one he actually connected with the second one.
Yeah, I think I don't think that was intentional, but he definitely made up for it on the second one.
Yeah, it was fucking mean as fuck.
Brutal. And I love that KENOH did his version of the soccer kick earlier.
You gotta love a penalty kick. Like it at this point, it's like a lot of people do it, but it's fucking mean as fuck, dude. It's one of those movies like I don't know how they're not actually giving that guy CTE instantly.
Yeah, probably not good for the long-term health, to be fair.
No.
But, you know, from a spectator standpoint, fucking pop for it.
Yeah. Pop for it.
Yeah, this was a meaty match. Very physical. I think just the ideal version of what this possibly could have been. And I saw a lot of praise for it initially. And yeah, I just echo all of that praise. This is fucking awesome. Again, shocker that KENOH lost the title to like Fujita of all people. But fuck, it was awesome. So I'm not going to complain.
Makes me think about how everyone was complaining about Mutoh being champ, and now the other champ is another old motherfucker too. It's like, yeah, Noah.
I'm all about the old boys getting pushes in 2021. Let's keep this going. All about those old dogs.
Have you seen who his first challenger is?
I did. His stablemate in Seguragun, none other than Big Daddy Suggs.
Ooh.
Can't wait for that match.
Oh, God, yeah.
So we have that to look forward to as well. So definitely be talking all about that. Any other final thoughts, guys, before we shut this down?
No, I mean, I was definitely shocked to see the way this match turned out, but it's hard to say it's a lame decision because Fujita is just a badass beast of a motherfucker. So
yeah, and this was like the best Fujita's looked since that match with Go, like in my opinion. So good for him.
Indeed.
And that fucking powerbomb was nasty, hey?
Describes him in a T. Everything he does is fucking nasty.
And that's what I want. That's what I want in my wrestling. Just people that
I'm
are
right
going
with
to
you.
unnecessarily hurt people.
Oh, I'm right with you there. The harder it looks, the more I enjoy it.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, that is the end here. I've got my best friend, the lovely David, sitting here. It's just been so patient and nice having walked in the door while I'm doing this fucking podcast. So let's finish
Say
this
hello
thing.
to him for me.
Jeremy says hello.
Hello, Jeremy.
So does Ben. He says hello too.
Ben also says hello.
Oh, hello, Ben. And your cousin Ben?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Hey, Ben.
We should thank the things. Thank you, obviously, the Social Suplex dudes. We do occasionally still do a podcast, so thanks for your patience, guys. Who knows what it's going to be or when it's going to come out, but that's the magic of this thing, you know. A lot of other great podcasts on the Social Suplex podcast network, such as, I don't know my list in front of me. Man, fuck. What do we, guys? What do we got?
Keeping it strong style.
I remember that
One of
one.
them?
I was trying to think of the others.
Um,
They got an
something with
elite
Clive
podcast,
and-
I think.
There's something about the WWE.
Yep, I think so.
there's,
Oh, let's hope
Kim
they
and
don't listen
Bob
to this part of the
Eat
show.
snacks.
Oh,
We
wait.
run a
Kim and
very
Bobby
professional
Snack Show.
podcast, guys. Fuck. Anyway,
There's
all of that at
show where the guys
socialsuplex.com.
Just read the scripts of Glow. They just read it, do fantasy outlooks of and playouts of the Glow scripts. That show's really good. You should listen to that one. Let's just make up shows, Chris.
Oh, there's
Oh,
one
that's
name
what we're doing.
radio, All Things Elite,
Oh, those are the actual real shows.
Ricky and Clive Wrestling,
I knew there was one with Clive.
8-Bit Suplex. There you go.
Look at
Alright.
fucking Ben coming to the rescue here. Motherfucker.
I've never listened to any of them, but yeah.
Hey, you're not supposed to
Don't say that. We listen to
have to
them all the
cut it out for me.
time.
There's Lenny and Squiggy's ECW review.
Anyway,
And if you decide on any show to watch, just let us know.
Yeah, give us something to watch.
yeah.
Also, if you want to buy T-shirts from me, you can go to pentagonzo.com where you can buy my T-shirts.
Do it, guys. Follow the show at Grown Men Pod. Follow me at Chris Things. Follow my Instagram at Chris Things, please. All of the sweet wrestling art. Where can we find you, Ben?
At Ben Kelly 333 on Twitter, I think.
A lot of great
At
content there.
85 on Instagram.
And at
I'm at Jaims Vanderbeek on Twitter at JAIMS Vanderbeek.
I was gonna read out your thing from memory, Jeremy, and you ruined it.
Sorry, pal.
It's okay. It's okay. All right. On that note, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you, Ben. Thank you,
Alright,
Jeremy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
This
Thank
was
you, Ben.
a fun time.
Thank you.
We should do it again sometime.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Who knows
Adios,
when?
ladies and germs.
Catches.
All right. Bye.
The bird's a winner, well, a bird, bird, bird. Well, a bird is a winner, well, a bird, bird. The bird's a winner, well, a